Hello everyone. Saturn retrogrades on the 13th of July. First, you need to understand the timeline and the energies of Saturn's retrograde journey. It's retrograding in Aries, the sign of Aries. Now, Saturn is the planet of discipline, structure, and karmic lessons, and it embarks on a retrograde journey each year, moving in apparent backward motion through the zodiac. So when Saturn retrogrades in Aries, the sign of Aries, this period becomes especially significant for the themes of self-mastery, independence, and the reassessment of your personal ambitions. So typically, Saturn's annual retrograde lasts for about 4 to 4.5 months. In 2025, Saturn begins its retrograde on July 30th. So the end date for Saturn retrograde depends on the specific astrological year and the Saturn's current placement in the zodiac. So for Saturn's retrograde in Aries, which begins on July 13, 2025 and remains retrograde for 4.5 months, meaning the retrograde is likely to end around late November or early December 2025. But in general, you could expect Saturn retrograde in Aries to last from mid-July to late November or early December. So as the cosmos turns its ancient wheel once more, a rare and profound astrological event unfolds. Saturn retrogrades in Aries, beginning on the July 13th. This celestial passage invites us to journey inward, to review the architecture of our ambitions, and to reconsider the way we assert our will in the world. Under Saturn's wise, unyielding gaze, Aries' fiery spirit is tempered, refined, and ultimately strengthened. So now let us gather our awareness, open our senses to the subtle energies at play, and prepare to receive Saturn's timeless lessons as it dances in retrograde motion through Aries. The eagles, or I would say the energies of Saturn retrograde in Aries is asking for discipline, boundaries, and karmic lessons. For retrograde is a time when its usual forward driving force is asking you to introspect. In astrological language, the word karmic refers to the unfolding consequences of our past choices. The idea that we ultimately harvest the results of seeds we have sown. Saturn retrograde amplifies this theme, revealing how the echoes of our previous actions shape our present opportunities for growth and for healing. So this Saturn retrograde offers a potent invitation to pause and look within, a time when introspection becomes not just beneficial but essential. So here in the silent spaces between action and reaction, we are called to review the blueprints of our ambitions, to question the motivations behind our drive, and to resurrect long dormant dreams or values that may have been lost in the daily grind of life. The retrograde motion slows our pace, granting us the clarity to discern what is truly worth rebuilding and what is best left behind. So as we navigate this cosmic review, we gain the opportunity to realign our efforts with our most authentic self, transforming the past lessons into a renewed foundation for growth. So in the sign of Aries, the pioneer, the initiator, the courageous trailblazer, this transit becomes a crucible for self-mastery. So we need to reflect and review. This retrograde phase is notorious for bringing up the past, highlighting old structures, habits, and commitments that require our attention and reassessment. So when this energy is filtered through Aries, it sharpens our focus on our sense of self, our independence, and the ways in which we initiate actions. So we need to exercise slowed momentum too and get deeper insight. Aries, if left unchecked, would charge ahead with little regard for consequences. But Saturn's backward step says, wait, consider, re-examine. So this is a time when impulsiveness is replaced by contemplation and superficial starts giving way to profound self-questioning. So establishing identity with integrity. Saturn in Aries calls us to consider the authenticity of our choices. Are our actions truly aligned with our deeper intentions, or are we simply reaching to old wounds, fears, or societal pressures? We need to look into our reactions. Don't allow the world to control you. You should be able to control your own world. So you restructure your boundaries. Saturn governs boundaries both internal and external. So in Aries, these boundaries concern our personal power, how we say yes to ourselves and no to the world. The retrograde period may reveal where our walls are too rigid or too porous. So the implications of Saturn retrograde in Aries means that as Saturn retraces its cosmic steps through Aries, collective and personal implications arise. We need to reevaluate our goals. This transit prompts us to look at how we set and pursue goals. Are they truly ours, or are they echoes of others' expectations? So now is the time to refine aspirations to be more authentic and sustainable and meaningful. Karmic lessons in independence is also important. Saturn retrograde may surface old karmic patterns around your self-reliance and leadership. So if you've struggled with asserting yourself, or conversely acted with unchecked impulsivity, this is a period for healing and recalibration. Testing your commitments. The structure you've built, careers, relationships, creative projects, will be tested for their integrity. Saturn exposes weak foundations and calls for honest reconstruction where necessary. And patience will give you power. Aries is impatient by nature, but with Saturn moving retrograde, delays and detours are inevitable. So instead of frustration, view these as invitations to deepen your resolve and build lasting strength. So the guidelines to adopt and adapt during Saturn retrograde in Aries. As this potent retrograde unfolds, consider the following guidelines to gracefully navigate its challenges and opportunities. Practice mindful self-assertion. Aries energy is bold, often brash. So during the Saturn retrograde, the lesson is not to suppress your fire, but to channel it wisely. So practice assertiveness with awareness, speak your truth, but listen deeply as well. Notice where your impulses are rooted. Do they emerge from genuine inspiration or from defensiveness or fear? Revisit and refine long-term ambitions. Set aside time to review your goals. Which dreams have you been pursuing that no longer resonate? Which ambitions excite your soul but have been neglected out of fear or perceived limitation? Journal your findings and allow yourself the courage to realign your ambitions in light of your new self-understanding or self-awareness. Set conscious boundaries. Saturn asks, where do you need firmer boundaries to protect your energy, and where could you soften to allow in new experiences? Audit your relationships, commitments, and daily habits. So if you find yourself stretched too thin or conversely isolated, adjust accordingly. Healthy boundaries are the scaffolding of authentic growth. Embrace delays and obstacles as teachers. So if you encounter setbacks, resist the urge to force your way through. Instead, pause and ask, what lesson is Saturn offering me here? Perhaps you're being asked to cultivate patience, humility, or resilience. Obstacles now are not punishments, but invitations to construct stronger foundations. Cultivate discipline, not rigidity. So while Saturn rules discipline, its highest teaching is flexibility within structure. So develop routines that nurture your spirit and support your goals. But allow for evolution and change. Remember, the strongest trees bend with the wind. Heal the wounds of self-assertion. Saturn retrogrades may surface old stories of rejection, failure, or conflict related to standing up for yourself. Be gentle with yourself as you revisit these memories. Seek healing through self-compassion, therapy, or creative expressions. This is a chance to reclaim your right to shine with humility and respect. Commit to authentic action. So as you navigate this retrograde, make a commitment to authenticity. Let your actions reflect your values and your ambitions be rooted in truth, not ego or external pressure. So each step you take, however small, in alignment with your true self, builds lasting confidence and trust in your own path. So in conclusion, Saturn retrograde in Aries is not a time for reckless beginnings, but for measured, conscious evolution. It's a gift actually. It asks us to look inward, to honor the lessons of the past, and to build the future that are both bold and wise. So it's an invitation to becoming the architect of your own destiny, not through force, but through patience, self-awareness, and disciplined passion. As Saturn retraces its steps through the fiery fields of Aries, trust that the detours, delays, and self-examination are not hindrances, but hallmarks of true mastery. So embrace this period as a sacred interval, a time to forge your will into a more refined, resilient, and radiant force. May this Saturn retrograde journey awaken within you a deeper sense of purpose, courage, and commitment. Let its ancient wisdom illuminate your path, guiding you to structures that endure, ambitions that inspire, and a sense of self that stands unwavering amidst any storm or chaos. Let us honor this cosmic turning with patience, openness, and a willingness to grow, knowing that in the end, the foundation we build within will shape the destiny we create without. So if you're feeling the subtle or not so subtle stirrings of Saturn's retrograde energy and sense the call for change, remember you don't have to walk this path alone. This cosmic interval is a powerful opportunity to recognize what needs correcting and realigning with your true purpose. Sometimes a guiding hand or a personalized perspective can illuminate what's been hidden, helping you transform setbacks into stepping stones. So if you're seeking clarity, encouragement, or tools for navigating these potent shifts, I invite you to connect with me for a one-to-one session. So together we'll explore your unique birth chart and unravel Saturn's messages which are tailored just for you. So let's transform old patterns, uncover new strengths, and create a plan that honors both your struggles and your soul's deepest intentions. Reach out if you're ready to harness this powerful season and turn Saturn's lesson into your springboard for growth. Your next chapter deserves intention, insight, and support, and I'm here to help you claim it. Stay tuned, for I would be giving guidance in my next video for every zodiac sign. Always stay blessed.